Hello and a very good morning. Welcome to the World Skills UK International Skills Summit. And the focus of our event today is skills for growth, for it is surely skills which will be the key to our journey out of lockdown and into recovery. Now, during the pandemic, World Skills UK has changed dramatically, not just training and selecting Team UK to compete around the world, but also cascading world-class skills to tens of thousands of students and young people in colleges right across the UK. Like where we are today, where better to host today's event than Dudley College of Technology here in the Black Country in the heart of the West Midlands. Now, since our last summit last November, we are in a very different place, and not just because we're here in Dudley. 1 week before our summit last November, the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, announced that England was going to go into its second lockdown across England. And Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales followed pretty quickly. But now we're in a very different position. At that point, a very grim winter was ahead for many students at the start of their careers, many employers, and indeed for all of us across the UK. But just last week, Boris Johnson, in the Queen's speech, we saw announced a skills revolution, and we find ourselves now in the third stage of our journey out of lockdown. There will be obstacles ahead, nobody doubts that. But with our debates this morning and during the afternoon, our panel of expert guests and keynote speakers, we will plot a course out of recovery with skills at its heart. Skills for growth. Can I introduce to you Dr. Neil Bentley-Gockman, OBE. Neil is Chief Executive of World Skills UK for his keynote speech, Unleashing the Potential of the Skills Economy. Neil is now into his 6th year as CEO of World Skills UK, and during that time he has seen success with Team UK competing across the world, most recently in Kazan in 2019, where we brought home 19 medals and medallions, proving that not only do we reach world-class standards, but that we actually exceed them. As the sun set at the time in their two-spade celebratory spread, Team UK have skiller instinct. Welcome, Neil.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our International Skills Summit. And I'd like to start with a big thank you to NCFE for supporting the event today and to Dudley College of Technology for hosting us, because it's fantastic to be here in this amazing college. And we've got a packed agenda for you today talking about skills for growth. And what I want to do in my opening remarks is simply talk about how we're working with our partners to unleash the potential of a skills economy, and also announce the creation of a new skills task force for global Britain, which is about helping us power up competitiveness and productivity by harnessing the world-class talent of the next generation. But first off, what do I mean by a skills economy? Well, to my mind, it's about employers, governments, parents and young people recognizing that being highly skilled is a valuable currency for success. It's about understanding the economic value of the technical skills people have and how they can be applied productively in the workplace. Now, that's different to the knowledge economy with the intellectual property generated in parts of our pharmaceutical, digital and engineering industries, supported by fantastic universities and research institutions which are recognised as truly world leading. This has rightly been the jewel in the UK's economic crown for the past few decades, and something we should all continue to champion. I mean, just look at how the knowledge economy has served us well during the pandemic by creating vaccines much quicker than anyone thought. But equally, the pandemic has highlighted our reliance on skilled workers to keep our society moving. So we shouldn't be putting all our eggs in one basket. We need two baskets, one in each hand, equally balanced, the knowledge economy and the skills economy. Because the unintended consequence of the focus for so long on the knowledge economy alone has been a downplaying and undervaluing of skills in our society. And that has arguably led to a triple whammy of underinvestment in further education, a lack of ambition for young people from all backgrounds who choose college or apprenticeships as routes to work, and a distraction from building the pipeline of high-quality technicians that our employers and the economy actually need. So just consider two examples of how our skills economy is underpowered at the moment. So firstly, in England, we have what's called a missing middle. That's a lack of technicians who hold higher technical qualifications in sectors such as advanced manufacturing, automotive and life sciences, who fulfill roles such as lab technicians and production engineers, and they are vital in terms of adapting and spreading innovation. As a leading skills advisor to number 10 Downing Street, Professor Alison Wolfe has highlighted, courses teaching technician skills are vanishing from English education at speed, even though the economy is crying out for these skills. And secondly, an ambition to achieve excellence in training is being lost, meaning that the quality of skills being developed aren't always meeting the increasing standards required by employers to make sure they're meeting their ongoing competitiveness challenges. And our own data at WorldSkills UK and experience of competing internationally at WorldSkills all bears this out. And that's gained from training young people to achieve world-class standards. In countries such as Switzerland, Korea and Taiwan, young people are emerging from their skills systems better trained to achieve the standards of excellence globally required. In the UK, it can take us 2 or more years of dedicated coaching and intense training to help our young people achieve the same level. And we do. Team UK has been in the top 10 globally in the past decade, and 2/3 of our team achieve those world-class standards. But based on recent WorldSkills international benchmarking data, the UK is becoming a bit less competitive in key sectors, such as engineering and advanced manufacturing. And although we've been working hard to improve that performance, we are in effect standing still and therefore falling behind because more countries such as China, Korea, Japan, Russia and Singapore have been investing more in the development of high quality skills, making it much harder for the UK to keep up. So the stark message is this: we will continue to fall behind unless we place a much higher value on developing maybe not just a skills economy, but a world-class skills economy. And in doing so, we'll help tackle 3 worrying economic trends. Firstly, our productivity levels, which have been stubbornly low over the past decade. Secondly, the huge disparity in economic growth across the UK between nations and regions, towns and cities. And thirdly, our declining share in global foreign direct investment. Many of the countries which are attracting more inward investment, such as China and Singapore, are the very countries we know are prioritising high-quality skills as an economic necessity to boost their competitiveness. And because of all of this, we are actually underpowering key sectors of the economy which are internationally traded and need to attract inward investment to fund their expansion, create high-quality jobs, and boost local economic development across the UK. And last year, a new report called Manufacturing the Future Workforce summed up the challenge in a nutshell. And it said, if the UK could combine its world-leading research base with a manufacturing workforce equipped with the knowledge and skills needed to deploy and exploit new technologies, it would secure a position as a world leader in the effective commercialization of the very best ideas. So all of this adds up to a compelling case for developing a world-class skills economy that can stand tall globally alongside our knowledge economy. And it presents a fantastic opportunity to set a new level of ambition for skills. And the time is now, because we have the right conditions for success. We have UK governments prioritising skills, job and economic development. In Wales and Northern Ireland, skills strategies are being aligned with key growth sectors. The Scottish Funding Council's emphasis on developing higher standards in tertiary education is being benchmarked internationally. In England, the Prime Minister's commitment to the reform of education aligns with local skills improvement plans to meet employer needs and linking with new thinking from the Skills and Productivity Board and a focus on higher technical qualifications. We have in the Treasury's economic recovery plans a focus on sectors to help boost our recovery through international trade, like engineering, advanced manufacturing, digital, clean tech, creative and life sciences. We're in the process of creating a new global role for the UK, setting out investment opportunities to the rest of the world through the creation of an Office for Investment and an Investment Council to help attract more international business into the UK. And that means we have to put greater emphasis and pride in developing homegrown young talent and stop relying on visas. All of this creates the right environment right now to put the development of a world-class skills economy centre stage and address concerns from foreign investors and employers about skills quality and skills supply, as set out over many years in Inward Investment Trends survey by consultancy EY. And so the opportunity to set a new level of ambition for skills is exactly why we at World Skills UK have seized the moment and are radically reshaping what we do. And that's why I can announce today that World Skills UK has commissioned a new skills task force for global Britain, with consultancy firm EY as our founding member, and with John Cridlin CBE, former Director General of the CBI, as its chair. Our ambition is to highlight the crucial role of high-quality skills for employers in internationally traded sectors to attract inward investment to all parts of the UK and help level up our economy. Bolstering our ability to attract international investment will bring huge benefits in terms of jobs, technology and innovation, not just in big multinational firms, but in clusters of small firms and supply chains across the towns, cities, regions and nations. Our task force members have agreed to take on the challenge of developing a roadmap for 2030, setting out key steps so that by the end of this decade, the quality of our skills will be recognised globally as a key calling card for international investment to create jobs and sustain economic growth. And to support this focus on high quality skills, we are also seizing the opportunity at World Skills UK to expand our work in mainstreaming global best practice in training across the UK. We currently work with about 90% of colleges in towns and cities all over the country, supporting the development of students and apprentices. And we've set ourselves on a mission of using our over 60 years experience of training to world-class levels to help improve standards and boost opportunities for more young people and their employers. So our Centre of Excellence, in partnership with NCFE, is growing to spearhead the drive to boost standards in training and teaching so that more young people from all backgrounds are highly skilled, confident and ready for work. Our innovation network is growing, with partners accessing data developed by World Skills UK to benchmark and improve their performance, while our Skills Development Hub offers online access to training resources developed by our international experts. We are now working with a quarter of all colleges in depth to help mainstream global best practice to drive up standards. And we're growing all of this work to support more colleges, more training providers, and more universities, helping more young people succeed to better meet the demand for world-class skills for key employers and international investors. And so I want to end by saying that at World Skills UK, we're not just up for playing our role in supporting the recovery. We're committed to creating a world-class skills economy for the long term, not only to bring economic dividends, but also as a way of tackling head-on misplaced snobbery about the value of technical education and apprenticeships. And we're not alone in this. My conversations across the World Skills Global Network reveals that many countries are grappling with how best to develop skills that will support recovery and, crucially, give more young people from all backgrounds a sense of opportunity, ambition and aspiration, restoring pride in choosing a technical career route. But we know this isn't going to change overnight. There are no quick fixes, and it will require a sustained effort to build momentum for the future. Many of our partners at World Skills UK are already leading the way innovating to mainstream global best practice to help young people meet ever higher standards demanded by employers. Developing and supporting teachers to meet standards of excellence in training and assessment, and inspiring more young people to follow apprenticeships and technical education as routes to success. But we need to do more. That's why we at WorldSkills UK will keep championing innovation, harnessing our global network and international best practice to support the further education system, to boost standards in higher technical education for young people, employers and investors. That's why we will continue to explore the possibilities of hosting the World Skills Festival, the Skills Olympics, on home soil again here in the UK in the next 10 years, as a tangible catalyst for change, galvanising partners to create a long-lasting world-class skills legacy. And that's why we want to expand our coalition to include more colleges and universities, more employers, more sectoral partners and trade unions. We want more partners to join us in our national and international network with the same ambition, leading the change over the next decade, making a world-class skills economy a reality, standing tall on the global stage, hand in hand with our world-leading knowledge economy, building a prosperous future across the UK, and attracting more international investment for more jobs in digital and green economies, and harnessing the skills and talent of the next generation to do so. Because when young people succeed, we all succeed. Thank you very much.
Neil, many thanks for that. Dr. Neil Bentley-Gockman OBE, lots of things to discuss as a result of Neil's speech, including, of course, a big announcement and also a very, very clear trajectory for the road ahead. We'll do that very shortly in the company of David Gallagher, who's Chief Executive of NCFE, of whom this event is in partnership. And you heard Neil mention David during his speech, and also in the company of Neil Thomas, the Principal and Chief Executive of the Dudley College of Technology. And we're very, very grateful to Dudley College of Technology for hosting us here today. And very fortunately, we were given a tour of this extensive campus. There are 12 sites across the area around Dudley. Here's one of them. And I'm delighted to say that our host in this part of the college right now is Harkush Ram. Harkush, you are curriculum leader for the built environment. Tell us where exactly we are right now.
Brilliant, yeah. So welcome. So you're over at the Advanced 2 building, which is predominantly for the students around teaching the built environment and professional and technical studies in construction.
It must be a great place to come to work each day.
Oh yes, because what we do here is, we're teaching the students the skills and all of those knowledge and behaviours, what industry is looking out for, and saying this is the future talent pool. So skills such as in software design, virtuality simulation, geospatial, is all the skills that modern students need and apprentices need.
And lastly, can we very briefly talk about T-levels? Because not everyone will have had experience with T-levels. How do they work and how are they working for your students here?
Okay, so in summary, the T-level that we're offering as a Wave 1 provider is in design, surveying and planning. And the main difference between a T-level and any other program is that they do 80% in the classroom, and they do 20% is in terms of industrial placement. So it's absolutely compulsory. The skills and the learning they have in the classroom is also replicated as a block, as a substantial industrial placement with employees around in design, surveying and planning offices. So it's exciting times for us.
And can I thank you for inviting us here today? And it would be great if we can see what some of these students are working on.
Please, please, thank you.
So Mitchell, what is it you're doing?
I'm doing a design of a house we have to design for our T-levels course, and I'm doing it on AutoCAD and Revit, where I do a basic floor plan on AutoCAD, where I do the different floors where I want windows, doors, different designs, staircases, and I'm making an actual model you can manipulate in Revit.
You can see in a three-dimensional way what the actual building will look like.
Yeah.
Your predecessors, days, weeks, possibly months to get to that. So how long does it take to learn?
Honestly, everything's laid out for you in different tabs, so it takes a couple of days, because you just look at what's there, use it to what you need. Doesn't take long.
Many thanks to the team over there at one of the many campuses at Dudley College of Technology, and amazingly successful areas of work. And if you see the kind of equipment, the facilities that are there, you will be blown away. And yes, of course, you work here. And one man who does work here, in fact, he more than works here, he's in charge of the outfit. Neil Thomas, Principal and Chief Executive of Dudley College of Technology. Welcome. It's very good to see you here this morning.
Thank you.
Also still here is Dr. Neil Bentley-Gockman, OBE, who's CEO of WorldSkills UK. We're going to discuss the outcome and the ramifications of the words that you said. And also to do that, we're joined online by David Gallagher, who's Chief Executive of the NCFE. Morning to you, David.
Morning, everybody.
And everyone breathes a sigh of relief. We can not only see you and we can also hear you. If I can start off, Neil Thomas, with you. Obviously, thank you for inviting us here today, and your team have been amazingly hospitable. This is a remarkable campus, not least because of its size, but also because of its facility.
Yeah, I mean, we really do pride ourselves on the of technology bit of Dudley College of Technology, and technical skills development is our lifeblood here. So most of the campuses you see, some of them are very new. We've developed quite a lot over the last 10 or 12 years, have been developed in partnership with employers in that particular sector to make sure we're delivering the right skills, but most importantly in the right technical facilities. So you don't see lots of classrooms here, you see lots of very technical spaces.
And the words you heard in the Queen's speech with regards to this skills campaign that the government are about to announce and also about to embark upon, and the words of Neil in his opening keynote address, those kinds of words, that spirit of a definite focus on skills must be music to your ears.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Neil hit the nail on the head really about the imbalance between a knowledge economy and a skills economy over the last 10 years. And I think that's driven behaviours that have affected us really, right from the aspiration of young people to the decision making of policy makers. And I think now feels like a genuine time of change, that technical skills development and the skills economy is recognised. You hear it talked about way much more, and it's being enforced through lots of the developments we've seen recently, including T-levels and institutes of technology and the like. So it does feel like the time is now for exactly the sort of work of the skills task force that Neil was talking about.
Well, let's bring in David on this. David Gallagher, you're Chief Executive of NCFE, with, of course, education not just in your name, but at the heart of what you do. And the creation of this new skills task force for Global Britain announced this morning by WorldSkills UK. Again, this must be something that is incredibly empowering to organisations like yours.
It really is. It's exciting, it's empowering, and listening to Neil's words, it's inspiring for the likes of me and hopefully everybody in the system to know that skills is getting its day in the spotlight for all of the right reasons. You know, hopefully we'll get that investment that's needed to make sure that excellence can be available for everybody through technical and vocational education. So it's a really exciting time to be in this sector. As we see these major structural shifts. And I think the task force, it's great to see it now being led from the top, because lots of the work over recent years has been grassroots up. And if that can then meet in the middle, we can change the world.
And there's lots of words we can pull out of that speech. One I'd like to pull out of that speech is the word snobbery, because that's been discussed before. That people talk about the prestige of technical skills. And when Neil put it into words by explaining how we have to put a financial value on the technology, the technical skills that students and young people and those embarking on their careers have. Again, how do we put those words into practice? Because it is different. There is a difference even now about how people perceive the knowledge-based economy and the knowledge skills and those of a technical variety.
I think the honest answer for me on that is it's going to take time. We have a societal outlook on education here that needs to shift somewhat if we're really going to hold technical and vocational skills in the right level of esteem. But one of the points I often make on this is that we live under an illusion that academic and technical and vocational are somehow separate. Do you know, if you take an engineer, for example, who builds a bridge, if they don't have the academic math skills, that's probably not a bridge I would want to cross. Do you know, take a doctor who has got really high levels of academic skills and attainment. If they've not got the vocational and technical skills and experience, that's probably not a doctor that I would want to see. So we've got to dispel this myth that academic and technical and vocational are completely separate things, really celebrate the importance of both of them in creating, as Neil put it, a really high-class knowledge economy, a really high-class skills economy. But I would even go one step further than that to say this is about humanity. It's about a human economy. Do you know, how do we help people to be the very best they can be, fulfill their potential, whether that be academic or vocational or the mix of the two? But it takes all of our attitudes to shift. And I think listening to, you know, what Neil described earlier on, that the words are fantastic, and we can all get behind that and galvanise around these ideas, and then put our collective resources, our collective intelligence into making this a reality. And that for me is why this is so exciting, because I can feel and now see that shift starting to happen.
And just briefly, if you can, Neil Thomas, we're going to hear from you later in the day, but this concern that people have about the view of technical skills to prestige, your students, presumably they don't feel that. They're proud of what they do, they're passionate about what they do, and they can see this as a correct, right, relevant and vital route to their success.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're super proud of them too. I mean, we do still see the challenge, absolutely. I was walking behind a parent the other day in an open day who said, well, if you do great in your GCSEs, you can do your A-levels. If you don't do quite so well, you can do a vocational, and if you really don't do too well, you can do an apprenticeship. And I had to just stop them there and go, hang on a minute, we really do need a chat. But I think it is changing, and I think the more we can showcase the amazing technical skills of our young people and adults retraining in these important sectors, the more recognition they'll receive.
It's not a champagne fountain.
No.
It's a level playing field.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Steve, for that. Thank you to both of you for joining us live this morning. Neil Thomas, Principal and Chief Executive of Dudley College of Technology, and also to David Gallagher, Chief Executive of NCFE. We're in partnership with NCFE for this event today. Neil, just before we move on, Dr. Neil Bentley-Gottman, OBE, with just some reflections on what you said. We've asked people if they want to get in touch with questions, and you can do that by filling in the panel on the right-hand side of your screen at home. We've probably got time for one quick one now. We may come back for some more later. Why has WorldSkills UK decided to set up the Skills Task Force under its own volition?
Because we see that there's an economic need. We hear from international investors, you can see data from EY surveys that there is concern about the quality and supply of skills. And we know from lots of conversation with employers that when they come to invest in the UK, often it's about research incentives or other sort of incentives for stepping up, for setting up their business. And then the skills conversation comes in a bit later, but that's the main thing that they say they're worried about. And so we want to just really put this agenda on the map and say we need to get the skills conversation right up front and be proud of the skills we're developing, as Neil has just described here at Dudley College. And so we need to make sure that our government is equipped and our ambassadors around the world and our posts around the world are equipped to talk about the high quality, the excellence in our skills system as a core reason to come and invest in the UK. And I think from where we're placed as WorldSkills UK with a global network, we really want to make sure we're pushing that agenda and making sure we're helping the government, helping international investors, helping employers really see the value and the excellence that's growing in the UK skills systems.
Dr. Neil Bentley-Gottman, many thanks indeed for that.